Good morning everyone. I didn't have time to work yesterday on the chart, and I was just planning to do a few things with the texture lab. For example, inside just painting walls or finishing the windows, this back window, but I didn't have time for this. So it is just exactly the same as we have yesterday during the streamings. And I didn't even check this texture here. So this is exactly the same, and I was thinking that probably today, instead of doing all those small details, I will probably just try to do a few gameplay in the chart, so kind of trying to have all the NPCs going inside for some time and then leaving. So for that reason I will need to have a few benches inside, and the chart will be controlling all of the benches, like they are being busy or not, and just assigning when they are going inside. So that's why it's probably good to have all those things inside of the chart instead of just having benches and they use the nav mesh. So like arriving to some point in the church, and after that it's just assigning a bench to sit and then leaving after a few time. So for that, as having some of random behavior inside of the mesh, and I can control, for example, how long it will be and how many benches do I have and things like that. So it could be good instead of just having fixed hardcode the bench that I are using. So I can just say like any NPC go to church, and that case just going to some point and then it's just requesting a place where to sit, things like that. And after that the chart itself can control when all the NPCs are already leaving, and then continue doing the next plan for some reason. So it could good to have all those gameplay codes all together in the same place, and this is the chart that is controlling, more or less controlling the NPCs. So they could be probably even calling a few NPCs to come to the church, or I could just have all the NPCs, or most of them, having at a fixed time the plan to go to the church at the same time, things like that. So the first thing that I will probably do is creating or defining a place where they are all of them arriving. So kind of, for example, this point, so they all arrive to this point, and after arriving here, the next plan is just assigning a bench that they are just using, so having a few of them here, and that's the way to be joining them. And after that, just for example, it's just leaving, so I can use this one to avoid that they are coming from all the points. Because for example, they are coming from this area that they are working here, or they are, for example, working on farms in this part, so they will take the shortest path for the nav mesh. So in that case they could arrive from this point or that one. So I will probably use only the main door for them, and maybe even it will be open at this time, so they can just coming and then keep the door open all the time. So during the time that they're just coming, and after that they're just closing the door and start the mess, things like that. And not just like everyone that is coming is opening and closing the door. So it will be like opening, fixing, open all the time, coming to this point, and the chart is just assigning a new bench to be. So this one could be the initial task, probably like go to church, and in that case it's just arriving to this point and starting all those kind of sequence that they are having inside of the church. So for that, what I'm doing is this is building, so the building has a point where to go, let's say. So you can define for each building the place which is inside of the building. This is just a location, and I can redefine per building. So usually if I do nothing, I mean by default they have this location is just let's say the actual location. So this is kind of the center of the house, which is in most of the cases is enough. But in that case I would like to have this entrance here, so they are just going to this point and then do the next plan. So for that I need to redefine, so I'm just overriding the get inside location. For that I will have this is a bad location, so I will probably add here just a dummy for that. So it's just adding a dummy here, something in the middle, probably here. So after they pass the doors, in case that needs to be open or closing, so I will add here in the middle a dummy object. So this is static mess, and or we can use something like an arrow or text or things like that would be also good. Hello sweet mate. Well, the UI manager component I will explain you. I have this game instant, which is just custom, and it contains only this game manager. Yeah, this is the game manager to control all the game. And if I'm opening this one, I have here a few managers. So I have like mission manager, user interface manager, audio manager, this is the item factory, action manager, and task manager. So I have all of them all together, and checking this one that is here, the UI manager is managing all the HUD menu, in-game menu, and things like that. So just calling to this one, I can control showing action, hide action, show this cancel menu, show info message, things like that. So this is how to control all the widgets that I have, which is a bit huge already, but more or less, like for example the menu for crafting, and this is the market, so I can show and close markets, things like that. The chest, the bolts that I have, changing the time, and then I have the HUD that is having the all the dialogues, and then it's also having the stamina bar. I have this canceling message, for example action progress, tightness, and time speed, things like that, you know. Well, in that case is something yeah, most of the code, as you can see, for example in that case it's just taking this HUD and then calling some method for that reason, you know. Usually it's something simple like really just calling another one, but sometimes, most of the times, it's just calling the method of this one. But sometimes I need to control, for example, a few sequence like showing a few things or hiding another thing. So that's why I have this one here and not in the HUD, because this UI manager have control about all of them. Let's say for example you are showing or hiding the main menu. In that case you need to hide the HUD, but also probably you need to show the menu and hide the in-game menu, things like that. So in that case you need to control like 3 or 4 widgets, and if I'm doing all those code in the HUD only, is this one only widget and should use reference for all of them. In that case I'm just, let's say, working on code of the main menu from the HUD, and everything is cross each other, and it's hard to have all the code in the same place. So I'm just jumping from HUD to main menu, menu to HUD, and then in game menu to control all of them, the code. So I could just spreading all this code to control all of them between them in every single place. In that case I have one single central point to control, let's say, all the widgets, and just calling well, I have a few different manager actors that are, for example, coming from C++, and in fact they are components, so they are coming from game manager, and they are components added to this game manager, which is just an actor, and this is just created. So what is the one that is created when the game starts? Which one? You mean the widget? Because a widget is not an actor, not an object, not being even spawned on the map. So it's just I don't know. What is the one to be created? Because I don't understand well the question. What is the actor manager actor that you mean? Well, the HUD is a widget. It is not an actor. So it's not being spawned at all. You need to spawn this one. Let's say spawn. It's just adding to the screen. Yeah, but the HUD is just. You mean the HUD is the cross? Yeah, but this is just a cross. So if I'm going here, yes, this is the first person HUD you have here. Yes. At the moment, of course, it's just a cross for this one. So this is the kind of main code for this. You know, this is just the only one. So this is an actor that's being spawned, but this is not. This is a blueprint. This is no widget. So I should control from this HUD all the widget. But I said that the HUD is one thing, but the main menu is another one, and in-game menu is another one. So in case that, for example, I want to create widgets that are include, for example, in the main menu or the in-game menu, I have what is this menu? This is in-game menu, and then here you have this one is inventory, this one is missions. For example, this one is player widget. They are widget already, so I have widgets inside of the widget to reuse. And instead of use this first person HUD and having all of them here, and also it's just having the menu and my menu, which is, well, this is the HUD but not exactly. So I was just creating a new object that is controlling the widgets, in fact, and the HUD is nothing. I mean, this is the main HUD, this is just a cross on the screen and then just hiding showing, but it's nothing more. So I was just creating, instead of put all the code here in this HUD, which is just HUD, I was putting code on use the interface manager, and that makes more sense for me, just to have like managing the user interface and not just the HUD, because the main menu is not the HUD, but it's something from the user interface in that case, for example. So that's why just putting in another one, which is exactly the same. It's a component, but it's also a blueprint, and I was just doing the same. So this blueprint user interface manager is managing all the widgets that I have for the game, because it's not only one, not only the HUD, and even the HUD is not in. If you just play, you can see the HUD is completely empty, so you have nothing on the screen. This is the HUD in game, so you have only this small cross, and that's all. You don't have nothing more. But in case that, for example, go there for a door, you have an action to do with the action manager, which is just hiding or showing the actions in that case. For example, if you are, for example, running, you have the stamina bar that is also controlled by let's say in that case is the first person character, but it's just managing this one. Well, I can put all this code in this HUD blueprint, which is already spawned, but the main menu is not a HUD for me. So I was thinking like, okay, I can just put all those logic that I need for the user interface in the HUD, but the HUD for me is empty. Let's say visually it's empty. It's just a concept, because it's actually the same having a component or a blueprint. It's just finally the code, and I have only one single game manager, which is an object that I have in my level already, and this object, this actor, have all the components that are just managing. That's the only thing that I was doing. So having those managers that I have base class in C++, and after that I have extending components that are adding all of them to this game manager. So I have only one actor being spawned and all the things. In this HUD I could put, of course, exactly the same code that I have here, all this code that I have here, with all the variables and functions and things like that, everything I can put in this first person HUD. There's no difference for them, it's exactly the same. And just instead of calling this UI manager, what I need to do is just call this first person HUD, or change the name, doesn't matter, of course. So this is exactly the same. Why I'm not using this one, because I thought that the menu is not HUD, and I was just putting in another place, and I have all of them together here with all the manager, for mission manager, action manager, things like that. So I put also this user interface manager, but could be called, for example, HUD manager, could be the same, you know, or first person character, because I could just even add here. And from this point I have central point to access to all the controllers in the game, so I can take from common function this get game manager, or I could take even like this get user interface manager, and then calling the function that I need to have there. So in case that I need a few sequence, I have something much simple. But there's not really a big difference, or not a big reason to use one MIME or just the default HUD. There is not a big difference, just changing the names, I think. And I wanted to have this one as a component and not just a blueprint. So that's the only thing. But maybe I'm not understanding exactly your question. Could be, I don't know. So if you think that it's not going on the way that your question is, just let me know. So maybe it's not exactly what you are asking. Tab location. Hiding game. No overlaps, no collision, no, nothing. Let's go. Yeah, this is the difference in that case, because this game is single player and I didn't take care about, for example, as you say, replication or things like that, because I'm even not planning to have multiplayer. So for me in that case it's enough. But yeah, thinking about multiplayer, you need to replicate the things, so for example all the variables and things like that. So yeah, you have a reason to use this one. For me it's exactly the same. This one, the project I'm using or not, it's not a big difference for my case. And yeah, in case that you want to replicate things like that, it's just been replicating. Otherwise I should replicate manually my objects, or in this case the action or things like that, but I'm not using at all. So I don't have any replication on my game, because it's just single player. I'm even not planning to be in the future for multiplayer, so no, I don't care about replication. But I know what you mean now. Yes. So the main single player doesn't matter. I have even the object, and that's all. I have this game manager is added to the persistent level, so that's all. Because I have all the layers I'm using level streaming, but the persistent level is there all the time. So you have this game manager that is controlling all the game, and is always there persistent, and that's all. I don't need to create anything more complex, or just extending, as you say, for example, replicating and keeping, for example, the state on both sides, client server and things like that. It's just one single player, and you have everything in your client, and that's all. What's this here? So this would be, for example, like this. This is the place to be. I think I can use maybe an arrow, because I had some problem with this one trying to be so let's delete this one. Good evening, Sanguine Day. Well, morning here. How's it going? Had you been streaming last days? I'm not sure. You were working on the last time I had seen is just having the dialogues, well, with waves dialogue. Did you manage this one finally? And then rotate. Yeah, sometimes you need refactor. You are working, adding, and finally you need to kind of stop refactoring thing, clean up everything, and yeah, and continue working like that, because you're just adding just to test or see things. Oh cool, did you use this speed tree, or are you creating your trees, or coming from this kite demo? I like this Sunset Party. The only problem with Sunset Party is it takes time. So trying to texturing things is really nice, but this takes like 1 or 2 hours every single item prop that you are trying to do. You need to have like 100. It means really a lot of hours. So for artists, it's wonderful to have something nice, but for my case, I have most of the things just completely plain and really easy to model and even texture. I'm just using generic tailable texture, and it's fine. Otherwise I will not finish in maybe, you know, in 10 years. Yeah, but the thing is, you need to finish before, or you you know, like after 2 or 3 years that they already have changed it, and even your project, and then you need to redo most of your project, kind of this. So you need to finish in a reasonable time. If you are just taking like 10 years, means you will never finish. You know, that's why I thought like, okay, 2 or 3 years, this is the maximum. More than this, it's just completely out of scope. Well, Sweetmate, this Sunken Dead was doing already cool things. I was just learning a few things from Blackboard and iPlans and things like that from him. So probably you can just ask him, or of course follow him and watch the videos. He's streaming also almost every day, and yeah, you could just check all the streaming that he's doing, and he could just explain there a few things. But of course, feel free to ask him. I'm not expert at all. I mean, I was creating my own node because I don't know how to manage all those things. I'm just only using this nav mesh to go from point to point. That's just more or less everything. So I'm not the guy that you are looking for, but something they was doing, you know. So this is the main location, and what I need to have this get inside location will be this get actor location, get location, get all location. Friday night means, because this is like in 12 hours for me, so it will be it's like 8 hours, things like that. So it's like kind of tomorrow at the same time. And there will be lots about this Friday future, things like that. Okay, so you will be, yeah, exactly, you will be streaming in around 20 hours, things like that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the, because for me, like saying Friday evening means like tomorrow, already Saturday, you know. So we have the location for this charge that is going to this point. So when I'm just asking for the NPCs coming here, they will come to this point. If they have a plan for that, I will create a new one, NPCs, and I will create a new one. NPC, interactive NPC. And it will be peasant. It's just named like there's no test, but I will have like prior. It's just kind of testing. I'm reading the chat, but Sweetmate, I cannot help you on it, so just reading, talk with him, and yeah, use the chat, no problem. But I have nothing to say about whether fighting, because even I don't have combat in my game, so I have no idea at all about combat or weapons, or melee weapons, let's just say. So new blueprint and NPC helper. So this is player helper, and even all I need is just this one is coming from player helper. Let's close things here. This is my place. So the plan that I will add for all of them is just having pen grab, and let me check any other. New graph, blank graph. Execute. So the plan that I will add for all of them will be initially go to charge. All of them will have the same plan, like go to charge. And we can add a few of them and check about them. So for this go to chart, I would like to add like some plan, which is helper here. This is something that I don't need already. So we'll do here a new sub plan, which is custom event, go to charge. And probably what I need is to have the charge here. And I will add interactive NPCs, buildings, home gardens, but it's empty. This is home, so I will also charge, which should be charge VP. Oops, compiling. Oops, since that is just trying to do something, I don't know, it's block. Okay, finally. Sorry. So let me check about restarting. This is not even graph. Here is what I need. Reroute node, and then this charge get. And this is empty helper, so from NPC here, so you have a new one with this charge also for this one here. What I'm doing is just assigning to the NPCs one variable for all of them that is marking the charge. It's the same I have for home, so all of them have a home, all of them have charge. That should be assigning to the NPCs, so they can just go to some place or point. So, or I could probably assign them when I'm loading the level, adding this chart to all the NPCs, but at the moment I will keep like this. It's taking pretty long to compile this one, I don't know why. Okay, finally. So now we can assign here the set charge already, and we are just passing the one from the NPCs. Okay. So we'll free a few of them, just few kind of this is prior. So we'll create, let's say for example, one here, another one here, and all of them should go to the chart at any point. What I'm doing also is just removing this one. Please welcome. This guy is not needed anymore. Move back. I don't know. Just delete the one here. So set to. Let me see. And we delete this one. So all of them should go as the first plan going to charge. So it's just the plan that I'm trying to do for them, and they will go all of them to this central point that I'm just taking here. So for that, what we need to do is one plan, combined plan, which is kind of sub plan. So it's just going to chart. It's just taking this chart from the NPCs. So this is get inside location. That this is the one that we have been marking with this dummy object. So after that, need to go to the location. For that we have already, I think, all of the commands. Go to location. Yes, location exactly. So we assign here this subplan, set subplan here. And the next thing is just assigning just this start subplan event. And the subplan is go to location. Okay, we have now this part of the subplan is just going to this location. which I will just improve later, of course. But this is the first thing that I'm doing is the plan go to location to this charge, and that's all. So NPCs, player helper, and the plan is go to location, go to charge. Okay, so they will go to this charge initially, but what I forgot is assigning all of them this charge. So it needs to be charge, so they have where to go, otherwise they don't have anything. This one and this one. So let's see if all of them are going to the church. Yeah, probably I know why. Because all of them are being located in another layer, so move selected after to this layer, and then I will add the charge for all of them. Yes. And try again. But they are not moving for some reason. Do they have the plan ready? Yes, they have. Current plan. Oh, I forgot about executing the plan. Probably that's the main reason. So here, for example, we need also the reset. So the event graph is just the animating, and then the reset. I think the reset is the one that we need. Okay, interactive execute plan. Exactly. So let's create this reset. Reset. I'm just not calling the plan at all. So this get interactive, which is just having all those logic for this, and then execute plan event, and success is true in that case. Okay, try again to see if all of them are going to the charge. They are not moving at all for some reason. Also because they are not being reset, so let me. They are not being called. Blueprints, sub levels. This one. Buildings, and could they just add all the what I want to do is adding a reference for all of them, but since that I cannot do all of them at the same time. Yes, no. And this one. Okay. Because I have in each level which NPCs or buildings or things like that are being reset when you start the game for some reason. I will probably use here this taking all actor off class instead of adding manually, but I was just adding manually initially for some reason, and now makes really not much sense, to be honest. So I will just keep it right now, and kind of refactoring will do out of the camera. So okay, so they should be resting and then starting scaling this plan. Exactly. So all of them shall go to this point. Yeah, all of them come to this point. Exactly. That's true. So they come to this point, and after this point they should just start doing something in this chart. So we'll remove this also. Oops, again. For some reason it's going really slow every time that I'm compiling things. Probably I have some problem with this manager blueprint compilation manager. I think that I was already deactivating. Let me check again. Compile yes, I don't have this activated because I was deactivating since been really slow for me, like 5 seconds or 50 seconds even for some blueprints that are just not really much complex. So that's why I was removing this. So what we need is we don't need this, we don't need this. So let's say that they are going to this point, and after that they should do something more. When they arrive to this point, they should do, let's say, the next plan, which is just asking for being assigned a bench. So this one needs to be, because I will create a new one here, new sub plan with a few steps, but I will do this later. So in this chart I will add a few benches. So they should be already here. I will add a few components with benches that are being all controlled by this chart. So I will child actor, which is bench 1, and this is bench sit BP, yes, and we need to have one of the sides should be not available, so we'll try to do right side block. Okay, 90 degrees, minus 90 I think, yes. So we have here, let's say, one bench, and I can add a few more. So the guys could just choose one that is being this one I will duplicate. Is it? Yes, here. We need to check also about the size for having enough space that they can walk inside and then sit, but I will just check later. And then this one, which is also bench 3, probably will move all of them. I cannot select all of them at the same time. This is matter of adjusting properly, but at the moment just something faster. So this is, let's say, bench 4. So what I want to do is when they arrive at this point, they request one place where to sit. So for that, I will do is just creating here a variable with let's say 3 benches, which is sit pp, and then I will create a new one with busy benches that can be free later, can be freely all of them. What I need to do is also assigning, this is for testing here, assigning them initially as sorry, set again, set, and let's make array and assign all those benches here. So probably, well, in that case I need to cast them, so I will probably, instead of get this child actor and then converting, probably, because otherwise I need to do this get child actor, and then I need to do this cast to custom seed VP, and then assign to this array. So probably I will do is different, just creating a make array. Could I do that like not having any type, and then I will add all of them here and I will use for each code to assign all of them as finally already. So probably I can add this one, yes. So I have all those things here, and after that I create just for each loop, and for each I will take this code coming here. So this is the element, and what I need to do is just get this one, and then we have this add, and this is the one that I'm using in the loop. So it's just all of them have been converted to be already set, which is much easier. Well, this is the way I need to go, and this is the set that is going. So we'll have the list of benches that are free, and when this when any NPC is arriving here, they should be requesting a free bench to be sitting down there. Okay, that is too late already, yeah, exactly. So I hope that I can just join your next streaming, just not to lose all the project that you are doing. I'm not sure about the time, because it's a bit, for me will be really not a good time, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It will be like 5 in the morning or things like that, so I'm not sure, but I can join later when I'm just waking up, so we'll be fine. Yeah, good night, thank you for coming. So this is free benches, and then we'll create like get free bench that should return the bench sit BP. So the NPCs will request a bench that is free to sit there, so in that case it will be kind of busy. So what I need to do is just take this free bench, get, and it will be get, but I would like to use here like a random. So for this one, get latest index or things like that. Last index. I don't remember what is last index. Okay. So from that one, will the random in range. What is it range? Well, random integer in range. I'm going to have integer in range here. So this is the minimum will be 0, of course, and then this is the maximum, and this is just taking one random from them, this kind of things. So it will provide one random bench from the list of free benches, and after that what we need to do is just also removing this one. So this is a remove index, and we will do is just removing this, the same index from the list, but it's just passing this one to here. So I think that it will be something like that. It's not nice all the links, but I will do later nicer. So it will take one of them, and probably what we need to do also is adding to the BC, just in case that we have later. So no. So this is good, and then we have this add, and we will add this one here to this list. So it's removing from being busy, from being free, and it's adding to being busy, and it's passing this one to the NPC that is requesting this one as a point to be sitting down there. So this is the one that I have for requesting a bench, and then it's marking this bench as busy already. So when the I will create, this is coming from subplan type. Subplan type is here, I think. subplan. I will create a new one. This is just paying go to church, because I have plans that are like one single step, and after that I manage all those sub plans that I have a few sub steps, but I want to call only one single node from my plan, from my NPC's plan. So when it involves a few steps, it's just being controlled on this code, and then don't really need to manage manually in the every NPC. So this code here is just being moved to the subplan. So this is X here, and it will be here W. So this is subplan here. So go to chart will be a subplan that's involving a few steps. So the first one is going to some location that we have already. So this is working well. And after that, when they arrive to this point, finally, will be another one which is just requesting here. So this is get free bench. This is the next plan, and the free bench will be sit on bench, which is just another, I think it's a new sub plan. Sit on bench, and for that sub plan what I need is just assigning or setting sub plan sit. But in that case, if we are calling to another one, this is the this is probably necessary right in this current subplan. So calling subplans is not clear, that would be the idea, but I can just do that. So I can just take this one, for example, go to location so small that it's really just obeying go to some location, and this location is exactly the one from the church, so there is nothing more to do here. This is just go to some location. I don't really need to call subplan, but just create this one. So this is just taking this one, and on success go to next plan. We get inside location. It is going to this point. So this one goes to the chart, and they will move to this central point here that we have, that we cannot see, but well, it's here, the central location for this is the point that they are here. And after that they request a bench where to go and sit there. Okay, so this is the next sub plan that they are doing. So this one goes to the location and then get free bench, and what we need to do is just go to bench, which involves a few steps. I think it is just all those things. I will think how to reuse plans because it makes not much sense. So what we need is, this is the kind of sub plan, but of course we can just modify things because this one is the bench that we need to use. So what is the one here? This is the bench being here. So they move to this location, and after they arrive to this point, which is just in front of the bench. Okay, so this is another sub plan moving to this one. So they arrive to this point, and after that they also need to be sit on event. So this is just coming here, and the time that we need to be is just 0 because it's just sitting until, in fact, this chart is kind of waking up them, so they move to maybe another location or doing any other thing. So this is kind of the combination of plans being here, and then needs to be only this go to charge plan. So this is called sub plan. where I have this, for example. Here, the sub-plant that we are calling is go to charge. So let's see. Instead of having only one single plant to go to some location, we have like combination for go to location, ask for a bench, and then sit on the bench until something happens. In that case will be until the mess is finished, and then it's just telling you to leave the charge again and go to some location for a new sub plant. Let me see if it works. First thing, they need to move, which is fine. Well, I should probably leave this one open. But as you can see, they are going to some benches. But yeah, exactly, because the problem that I have here is not enough space for the location, because I have this one that I need to delete completely. So delete all of them. They have some space. I didn't check about the nav path for them. As you can see, for example, here they don't have enough space for the rest of the benches. So this is one of the things that I was just checking about the nav mess that need to be recreated. So wait, paths again. Let me see if this just recreate this one for some reason. What about this? Why are they not being recreated, and why they have those things just blocking? So the problem that we have is just not having the nav path is not going well. The geometry, path is not needed. So why is my nav path not being recreated this time? Or for some reason it's not being created very well, being honest. So I don't know what the problem is for this nav mask, but the sub plan that we have is just working well, because they are just going to the bench that they are being assigned, so they choose some of them. But the problem is both of them, for example, were assigned to this bench, those benches that they don't have any enough mesh path to go there. So that's our problem now, that this path is not working well, and I would like to know why. If this one, I was just recreating this one, so build the path, but it's not working well. Let's add some random mess to force this one to be recreated. So let's say for example this one. So this is just creating this one because I have of course a collision here. Seems like I have a few things here having like a collision, but I don't have already. Or probably the problem is being too small. But in that case, I just think that it's just wrong about the enough mesh path that it's just trying to have. Even if it's taking really long for something simple, I don't know. It's just will pass. So yeah, my path is not being well recreated. Probably I will. This is not going well. I will just probably restart the editor in a second, because since strange that we don't have this one. Save all. Let's see. Strange that. Is this one here? Yeah, it's already here. Let me try again because this path is not working well. There is some problem there that is not working for some reason. In the meantime, don't forget to check all the links if you didn't do yet. Watching for more pictures and more information about the game in the website. Let's just start. I hope this solves the problem because I don't know why it's just creating something strange and also skipping like the old one. I was already deleting all those messes, but anyway it's not recreating this nav mess properly. That's the problem that we have, that they don't have any paths to go to those benches that are being assigned there. But more or less it works. I see that they have been adding or adjusting. They assign a new bench that is not being busy, so there are 4 guys and then they were assigned to 4 different benches, so should be working fine. When they say all of them go to chart, they will find the path to go to their bench and then sit there until they say the mess finish and then wake up all of them together. That's why I was keeping these busy benches array to have all of them, the one that have been used, because in that case we have for testing 4 guys and 4 benches, but maybe in the future will be something randomly. So in that case we should have probably more benches than people there. So in that case only some of them need to be, well, I could just check which one are busy or just having an NPC being there sitting down and just wake up all of them, but will be easy to manage like this. And even doing like that, when they are requesting for this, I could just pass this parameter for the NPC that is just requesting this one, so the chat could know also about the NPCs being there in case that they need to do something more or just changing animations or I don't know, any other thing that probably being doing. I could just pass, as I was asking for these benches, I can pass also the NPCs being there. So in that case all the code for the charts is just being in the same place, and this chart is managing all the NPCs when they are just already inside of this chart. So it could be good to have all of them, and could even be asking about, for example, if the chart is full of people and there are no more places, even when they are requesting this go to chart, could be just checking about if they have space in the chart, because they could be walking from some point of the town and it could take just a few seconds to arrive there walking, so it's not instantly. So they could request, for example, they are working on farms, they request if there are some place on chart. In that case they go to all the plan like walking to this direction and then choosing this bench and so on. But if the chart is already less kind of full of them, so there is no more space for people requesting to go there, it's just not assigning, otherwise they are arriving to the chart, there are no benches free and then need to leave. So in that case they should probably jump or avoid this, just ignoring the sub plan going to chart and then continue maybe walking or any other plan that they have. So it's good way to control all the NPCs from the charts, because it's like a central point and could be easy to manage. The chart can manage all the NPCs behavior and even the plans, so they are just kind of stopping or not all the NPCs. Okay. Oh, it's taking me slow to load. Come on. Oops. How long is taking? Really, it's just too much. And also about my hard drive and my RAM is completely full. I don't know what's happening here. That is just, of course, really lagging all the system. I understand this. I was updated today this OBS for a new version, and I'm not sure if it's working well. It's just taking a lot of RAM, and not only RAM but also taking a lot of CPU working, so I'm not sure that this is working well or as it should be. I see what the problem is. Okay. Now should be a bit better. Yeah, because I have a lot of crash report from Unreal Engine, so probably this nav bank was just crashing for some reason, and there's a lot of process just trying to do this I don't know, report or things like that. So it's taking a lot of RAM and hard drive, and I don't know, and even slowing down the Unreal Engine to start. But anyway, hard drive and RAM is full completely before I'm even opening this one. Well, it takes really long for me to open this computer, but especially when I'm streaming, it takes really long to start game for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's about OBS or something like that, but it takes like 10 minutes to start, when usually it takes long, but not so much really. I don't know what the problem is. I need to try to figure out about the process, but there's nothing more there. Okay, finally we are here. Not exactly. Need to load all the textures in the streamings also. Okay. So let's check about the path, if it's going well or is it having problems creating the path for some reason. As I can see, it's just the path still not there because I don't have this recreate. So let's try to recreate again. Okay, perfect. So now that's the path that we need to have. So all of them have been already recreated, and we have all of them have space to be sitting down here. So in that case, I will just try the same, but I will stay here just checking about how are they doing when they are coming. So let's play. Okay, really slow. So let's see what is happening for them. I will just keep the door open, otherwise it seems to be just blocking things. Well, seems to me they have all the benches wrong way. Yeah, one of them was just this is not static. Okay, but anyway, it works. Just bang all the benches on the opposite way. What we need is just creating all of them as static. This is one of the steps. So this is static. Save, and let me check about this direction for all of them. I thought that because I have here this kind of marker for all of them. What I forgot is just removing this one also. So this is the actor here, and should be what I don't have the option being here for child actor. Why not? Usually you have here like default, or should it be static for some reason? Let me open again. So they have here, probably this is just having some problem here, adding, or what's this? This then static, yes. So, and everything is static, I think. Yes, all decals, no. The door, front door, right door. But just static, everything is static. So I don't see any reason to be this is a problem. What I have is all the benches have both sides. As you can see, this small, because I have still problem with the floor, but I mean I have some things like that, so I could control which sides are available. In that case, I want to have only this one and not this. For that, I have a flag that I can control. It's just a boolean, but it should be just being shown here as options for this class. But in that case, this is a child actor class, so that's why seems to me not giving me the options to control this one from this panel, which is strange because I think it should be. I'm not completely sure about this, but so let's say for example if I open this one and I can control this one, which is already, as you can see here, you have this child actor template, so all the options are default options for your child actor class. So that's why I was expecting to have also this actor class. So it should be, let's try to reassign seed pepper. Okay, now I have, that's what I was expecting to have. And then right side block is just only this one being available. So for some reason, probably because it was filing, I think it's just none, and then again seed pepper, and to have this option already. Okay, I will redo again. Seems to me that we're just failing. I need to reassign them. Seed pepper, and then just setting all of them to have only one side available, which is just in front of this. So this is right side. Save, compile, and try again. Also, the door needs to be open because they're just having problems blocking the doors. Yeah, this is one of them that's been blocked. Well, I can see that two of them have been assigned to the same bench, which is wrong. But we have already this code for get this free bench, which is already adding, removing, and then adding to these busy benches, and then return the node. So probably they are calling this function at the same time, so they both of them have the same bench. In this process, going on this way, they went random, then it's trying to remove, and then another one is calling at the same time here. So I could do some kind of mutex for this one, being assigning only so try to avoid this process starting if it's already started, otherwise they are just trying to have a bench at the same time. So I could use just a flag, or if I'm trying, for example, to use events, I could add a few delay, but in that case probably having a small delay, you can see them stopping when they are just walking, so this is really not nice to have this, and I would like just they are just passing in front. So first thing I will do is just put fire so they take more time to go there. So this one will be closer, and kind of this, for example, this one, and one of them will be coming from something fire, and this guy will be probably closer to this one, something like that. So in that case also we will avoid just blocking with the door. It's just, of course I need to fix this one, but just for testing right now I'm not planning to have all those code right now on the streaming because it's just boring. And let's try again to see if they are just coming, and they should be, there are 4 benches, so they should be assigned to 4 benches. So there's one of them coming, let's take in this one, another one. Well, since wrong, and also I see that they are using, for example, this I was using this small door that I don't want that they use, so for that reason, of course, I have reports here, like yeah, exactly. The problem is just assigning something that have been already deleted, so this is the wrong thing. What I want to have also is that the doors are not available for navmesh, so they cannot walk on this way. This is the only way for them to go, and I will leave this one for the player only. So in that case I will add here like affecting navmesh for both of the doors. So let me see if I can just modify from this point. Probably no. I will need to create something like blocking NPCs, and then in that case it's something that is being created for that reason. Because you check this base class door base. I was, of course, this is probably done that this static mesh is not affecting at all about navmesh, as you can see, for example, here. So the NPC, they cannot see this door, and they are just walking and passing through. So that's why, for example, here with the navmesh, you can see that they are just crossing doors with this suspected behavior, but I could just block them to be for some case. So I will just add here a new variable like block NPC, which is just saying this one that is well, I will use for that reason. So in this construction tree, this reconfigure, this is the option to be here, and I will add anyone to be checking about this block NPC. So this branch, and the condition is block NPC. So in that case, if this is being done, this one will be affect navigation. No, what I want to have this navigation. How to create this one? Influence navigation. I don't know what is the name of this one. If I can even create from the blueprint navigation. This is already lab mesh component. Probably I need to get mesh with get the static mesh. Yeah, and now this one should be the one affect navigation. This is not. I don't remember how to do that. Affecting them, because I want to affect navigation yes or not according to this flag. And that's the one that I want to change. I want to change this one in the constructor, so this is fine. Can probably can. No. Let me see if we are using this affect navigation. Set affect navigation, but it's not destructive. Policy component primitive component, no light. Well, this one and this needs to be bound object. This is not the one that I need, so I cannot see any way to confuse this one. So in that case, what I will try to do is probably something different, but is adding here in my viewport just a block navigation for some reason. So let me see if I can just add a block with a nav mesh nav modifier, but I think it's just affecting everything, having no, not this one, file save extend, nav error null. I think as component it's just being for all the mesh, all the blueprint. I cannot really create like a volume for this one and define the size for them, I think. So that's one of the problem that I have. File save extend. As you can see, I cannot change this one. Oh well, I can now. I don't know, nothing had changed because it seems to be affecting the wall with the component, and this affecting the wall blueprint, which is not what I want. So this is delete. Another thing that I can do is just assigning here, so adding for example here like an nav mesh modifier. So this is volume, a nav mesh nav modifier volume. What is the size of this? Doing something like that should be probably also blocking about this entrance. So let me try like this. 50, and we have 100, which means already 2 meters. Well, this is 2 meters, and this should be just blocking the entrance for the nav mesh. Let's check again. As you can see, they don't have any way to go inside for that. I will recreate anyway. But you can see this is just cutting here, but not this one, and I can do the same with another door. So this is just blocking them to be accessing from this one. Hello Miguel. Hello. How's it going? Oopsie. Fine, just working on gameplay already because I have been modeling for many days, and I'm missing only a few things about textures and things like that, so it's not really something that I need to spend a lot of time. So I have been starting with some gameplay code, and what I'm doing now is that the NPCs are coming to the church and then being assigned a new bench for them. So let me see where this one is. Oops, not this one. I want to take only this one. Is it possible to take this one? No. No. Okay. Why? Do you have any problem with this? Nav modifier volume. Is this the one? I was just modding this one. Move to navigation, and that's the one that we are just doing. modify volume. This is a charts one. Move to navigation also, and I will do chart store left, and I want to duplicate this one, so Control W, chart store right, because it was working fine. Or did you buy a new one maybe? So this is the another door that I'm planning to have. I don't mind because only one guy was reporting is too high, but also it's bad because it's just a headphones, and I'm trying not to use the one from the laptop because it's so noisy going close to the laptop. So I'm using this headphones, but I paid maybe 5 euros, things like that, so it's not really good. But yeah. Yeah, that's the one I have, also the one from my laptop, because I have already included this webcam and microphone, but I'm using external one with the headphones that I think is working better and not so noisy for the notebook. In your case, you have a PC, you don't have this problem that is so noisy being close to the computer. In fact. So now we should avoid this door to being used. So let's try again. Do you want to see how they are coming to the charts? Well, if this is starting. Yeah, well, it is something that I'm not sure that you can avoid this, because for example I have something, my neighbor are doing some building some home, and then you can listen all of them, and yeah, it's almost impossible. Even I was moving to another place because where I was doing yesterday all the streamings, it's so noisy that I cannot be there, but I was just moving to another place, very quiet, but the problem is yeah, you can hear everything, or for example cars or things like that. So this is more or less working fine. The only problem is assigning not properly, but I mean they come properly. What I have? What was this? What is this? I don't need this. Okay. Okay, the main problem now is all of them are being assigned to the same bench. That should be a different bench. So I don't need this, or I cannot manage this one. At the moment I will just check about this later. So let me take a note about this in some place. Here. I will investigate with how to do that on Blueprint if it's possible. If not, I will just create a simple function to use this one if it's needed at all. So ignore this one now. The problem that we have is here. So this just seems to me so easy, like get one from the list of them and then assign and then add to the busy benches, and then remove from the benches, which is Well, probably the thing is I'm removing this one when this one is trying to get or add or things like that. I'm already removing this. So I think what I need to do is taking probably 2 local variables to avoid this one being recalled every single node. So one of this is the index to be used. Let me try like this, since probably that's the problem. So that's the index and this is the bench that I want to use. Bench BP or something like that, and then this is set BP. So first step will be get this one. So let's say you get from this, and then you are doing like set the index. That's the first thing that we are doing. So get this index to be used. Okay, and next thing is just set this bench that we are using to is coming exactly from this index. Okay, and this is the bench to use. And after that, we will try to do is removing the index that we have here. So that's the index that we are removing. What we are adding now is adding this bench that we have already. And finally we are also taking this one here. So in that, because the bench in fact is just another object and it's not being lost if we are removing or adding to the array. So let's try again. Go. So this one's going there. What about this guy? This one is going to another one. Okay, thank you for coming. Let me know if you are streaming and I will just test your microphone if you are trying to do some testing for people. I hope that I'm there. If you are streaming probably later or in the afternoon. Okay. So see you later, Miguel. Good luck. Have a nice time. So all my NPCs are working well right now. They are taking only one single bench that they have to sit there. That's good. Another thing is just controlling that. For example, if the player is just sitting there and then this bench is already busy, should be not taking this one. Also could be when I'm just assigning this one, I should mark this one as busy, but also like not being able for the player using this one, because they are controlling all the NPCs is fine, but not about the player. So could be probably putting some flag on benches that is kind of already assigning or being used in the future for some NPC. In that case, the players cannot use this one, for example. And in case that the player is using some of them, the NPC should be assigned to another one completely different. So this is kind of to check for being yeah, but there is something more complex that I will add later. But the problem was that I was recalling again a few times for the same thing. So and I will just duplicate this one to make it easier, more clear. So this is the free bench, and this is another one, and this is the bench. So we have ready our, and let's add a few more and see if they are just being assigned randomly, of course. So what I will do is adding a new bench here. Currently the only place to sit in the bench is something in the middle and being all the bench busy, but I can change this one to assign this point, or just assign, let's say, left, right, or center, or things like that. So they are just playing all those animations from the point that is just passing here, like having few sides. So I could manage to few NPCs sitting on the same bench, because this is just a model for testing. I'm planning to do modeling something, and could be probably larger, just to cover or both parts. So such case could be probably sitting 4 of them and not 3, but it's just about distance, that's not a big problem. So what I want to do is just adding more benches. So this is 4, Ctrl W, and I will align it later, and Ctrl W, something like that. We need to check also about the nav mesh path, if this is working well. So this is bench 5, bench 6, and we need to add them also here on the list of benches to be available. So this is something like that. And this is the last one. So let's see how are they being assigned randomly. We have now 2 of them that will be free. Since that 2 of them have been being assigned already to the same one, which makes not much sense, I think. Really. Now we need to improve this code probably with more checks, or because the problem is checking on time. So this is giving signing and then a few seconds later, for example, this guy is sitting there, but at the same time could be already not being assigned. So you can see the last one is also trying to take something that is already taken, and that's why there is no way to go. Or let me check, because maybe the one that they're being assigned you don't have enough. That's not mess. That's also a problem, that probably is being assigned to this one and you don't have this nav mess again. And let me check if we have the same problem with this nav mess being recreated. Quality paths. Yeah, since having the same problem as I have in the past, so probably I need to restart the editor, but I'm not planning to do right now. It will take really long again. So yeah, probably the thing is being assigned to this bench. There is no place for them to be. They cannot sit here. Or is it just wrong painting? Is it really possible to sit there? So they are being sitting on the benches that are possible to be sitting. Yeah, now in that case it's just being assigned to another one completely different. So that's why it is working. In case that they're being assigned to the one that is not working with this nav mesh, they don't have any path to arrive there. So that's why they are just stopping and doing nothing. So yeah, seems to me that the problem is actually saying that the nav mesh is not well done. Maybe because I have components inside of blueprint, inside of the level streaming, things like that, maybe, and I need to, I don't know, recreate, reload again, or some reason like that. So if they are being assigned to any other of the benches, it's fine, but if they are being assigned to this bench, in that case is of course it's a problem because they cannot arrive there. So that's why it fails. Okay, probably the last thing that I'm doing with the streaming today, because I have not much time, is trying to keep this door open all the time. So let's say when the game starts, or when the charts want to call them to come here, it will be starting playing this bell, and also it will keep maybe open the doors. So for that one will be probably I can just open the door. It is something easy. I mean, that's the one that we need to continue here. So let's take this reroute node. Otherwise we are just doing in the loop, which is not expected. So I will try to open the door and see what's happening. I think that when they are crossing front door right, I think. And yeah, probably I need to do all those casts for being door base, cast to door base, yes. I can do this open, so it's here. In that case I do open, so it will open the door, but I'm afraid that then when they are just crossing the door, the NPCs, the door is closing back, and I should just kind of lock the door. As you can see, the door is being open, but the door is being closed again when they are crossing, so I need some kind of lock the door, not being able to be open, close, or any other animation. So probably I need to add a new function code or things like that for this door, in case that is just taking this event graph and try to hold this door, because that's the thing when the NPC is just crossing, it's just closing the door here, but only in case that, for example, is not blocked. So let's say I will add a new one, yes. If it's blocked, if it's blocked, it's not possible to open or close, let's say. And should be come on, what's happening again? Is it crashing? The problem is I don't have any RAM, it's just completely full of RAM for some reason today. That's why it's taking so long, everything. So the thing is, for example here, in case that it's just it is locked, or let's say blocked, it's just that you cannot open or close, and first thing will be probably closing this one. So it's automatic close, it will be closing here, but everything is just happening here for the animation and things like that. But the thing is, for NPCs, this is the only one that need to be managed. So in that case, that this is an NPC and this automatic close. No, this is the NPC here and also NPC here. And I'm just trying to think about if the player is also trying to do this one and this is locked, or let's say blocked, this is not possible to do any action. So in that case, this is locked over here, and if it is blocked, should be nothing happening. So let's add here for the execute action, this is not possible to do anything if this one is blocked. So this is good, this is branch, and I will remove later everything. So it is false, that is blocked, you can do any action, otherwise you cannot do any action. This is for the player. So in case that open or close, there's no option for them to change this status. Yeah, why I did this one? Really slow today. I don't know. Maybe it's obvious, the new version, I don't know. I'm just waiting for just compiling this one already, so it's like 10 seconds every time that it's compiling. So call opens, opening, call the animation. Well, in this execute action, I think it's just taking the lock door. It has item, and finally it's using this open and door, but it's not changing any value. It's not changing any value. So I could probably add here, and instead of having this action here, and if I'm doing this open or close, should be it's just easy adding here, like it's open, so there's no way to be opening this one, and it's avoiding all those the sequence, so there's nothing to do. If I'm doing the close, it's exactly the same. What I need to check about this event graphs having here, like try to close the door, is just try to close the door, and yeah, this kind of thing closed will be ignore this. What is happening if I'm going on this way and then just try to do this no collision of the door and then try to do all those animations? So in that case, yeah, I need to check again here. So there are both cases where I need to check about if they are locked. In that case, there's nothing happening. So let's say for this one, let's add here reroute node. It's too long. So this one's here, this one's here, and there's also one here. And what we need to do is just checking about this blocked. In case that this is blocked, nothing is happening. So I mean, there's no changes on it, and there is no animation starting or anything happening. So only if this is false, it will be here. Exactly the same case for try to open this. This is blocked. There is nothing happening. This is a problem for NPCs. They are trying to go to the door that is already blocked, that they cannot be opening this one, but I think that I will just control this one, so there's nothing. The same here. In case that this is blocked, there's nothing happening, so just ignore this action. False. In fact, the only one that I'm trying to control is for NPCs, and this pegging overlap and overlap is already managing this case for the NPCs, but I will just add also for the player in case they want to block for some reason the doors for the player. So again, 10 seconds compiling. I really don't know why it's going so slow today, compiling blueprints for some reason. Okay, what I want to do is open the door, and then what I want to do is just set block. I will create a function for that, be much nicer, but anyway, I will do it like that. And we'll see what's happening if we have this door open already, and they cannot modify this one. So first thing is opening the door, and then the NPC should come here, and another door is not being affected at all for this animation. So yeah, we are kind of opening this one and keep this one open already blocked. So for such kind of things like that, and we could check also about the NPCs that are coming here. When all of them are together, we can close again the door. And I was thinking to open both of them, probably open both doors. So in that case, it's just easy to take both doors and do the same code for this one here, and this is the front door left. Remove this and just take this one, and this is a sequence. This is one and this is another one. So this is just blocking both doors, opening them and blocking them to be open, so the NPCs are not messing with the door at all when they are coming. So yeah, they just keep open, and the doors are open for the time that all of them are coming, let's say, and after some time should be starting the mess, and we can already close the doors and keep inside, for example, when the the player is coming, or after a few time it's happening. Yeah, the problem is this one is paying a sign all the time, and the build path is not well done, and I'm trying to recreating and it's not working. What I need to do is restart the editor, but it takes really long, so I'm just avoiding this one. Yeah, as you can see, nothing is happening here. It's just wrong. I need to reopen the editor for some reason. So there is like something here, but there's nothing there. And you can see also a few parts are being completely wrong for no reason. If I'm adding here something. Okay, so this one is recreating this small part, maybe it's about a small square. Yeah, that's wrong, and probably I have here a class report or something like that. I don't know. It's taken really long to create this. Okay, let me see if this one is recreating for some reason. Well, it's creating something like that. You can jump on it. But it's not what I need. I need just all of them being also here in use. Yeah, the navigation is not working well. Just need to recreate this. But since that only the editor is solving this one. Okay. As you can see, there are something strange things here. This one I can understand is about the the cliff that we have here. This one I'm using, but this one is coming from nowhere. So there's nothing here, just the same proxies that I'm using for the chart. So if we check about the proxies, we can see that there is nothing strange here. Just for no reason, it's just taking this one as wrong. And this is completely plain, as it's not only. That's also not taking this one, so there is no reason for the nav mesh not covering this area. There is no reason. That's strange, really. Let me restart again the editor, it's just a bit strange. Save all. It's taking too much RAM today about the Unreal Editor, I don't know why. And I didn't change anything, I was just streaming yesterday, I didn't even open the editor just in the afternoon, and I just opened it right now. But it takes like 5 gigabytes when usually take 1.5 or things like that. So for some reason it's taking really a lot. And that's why it's no RAM at all to do any other things here. And all the computer is really slow because it's just swapping from hard drive. I don't know, maybe some blueprint is wrong or there's something broken there that I really don't know. I'm just waiting. Okay, already we can start again. Opening this. I was adding yesterday picture. If you want to check this one on Twitter, it's the one about the flowers that I was working maybe last week. I was also adding all the videos on YouTube with the flowers that I was doing during streamings, and also all the videos about the charts that I was doing this week, because I was modeling until yesterday all the charts that I was doing, and the only thing that I'm doing today and the first day doing gameplay for these charts. All the time with just modeling, a few texturing. So you are interested on the charts or for example the flowers, because I was taking the texture, modeling all thing, and then creating all those foliage and things like that. So if you are planning to do something like that, maybe you are interested or need, just checking all the steps. There are more links if you want to do something like that about people also on YouTube. Probably I can check any other links. And we can check this picture bigger. Let me open this. How is this way? 52. Really slow today. So let's open the picture. Yeah, that's quite complex operation. Open a picture, so it takes like maybe 30 seconds for Windows to open one picture. That is something so intensive. So as you can see, it's opening. We are almost there. This is completely blocked. That's just, yeah, there's something not working at all. Yeah, probably we need to cancel something. Okay, so finally, yeah, finally we can see this picture. And I will try to open bigger. Let me see if my computer is not crashing for that reason. So yeah, that's the picture for Twitter that I was adding. You can check all the flowers. I was doing probably only 3 of them, those 3, but it's actually saying that this one, the 4th one. And I was just creating the model in Blender, and I was creating also the shader for that, and yeah, creating these foliage, adjusting the cool distance for them, and a few things like this. So if you're interested on how flowers have been done, just check this one. Hello runner, no worries, they will be there. It's not a problem. Just when you are free or have some time, just play this one. People was reporting a few problems. The main one is having when you are opening and closing the main menu, you will keep this the action in front. That was the last one. I have fixed it already, this one, but that's the one that you can find on it. Also jumping, that I was just people reporting about jumping. It's just that I'm planning to remove this jump. So if you are jumping and then having problem with the proxies, and then you can arrive to the roofs and things like that, because the jump is something that I'm removing. So not any single mechanic that need to be jumping. The only one that I was just keeping there, I was deleting and then adding and then deleting, adding, finally keep there, because probably if you were stuck some place, it could be helping you, but in fact it is not needed, you know. So like there is no animation for jumping, there's no sound for jumping, and you can just jump to the roofs and things like that. So don't worry about jumping and proxies. Let's see other pictures. This one was the last week probably. I'm trying to open the editor in a while, but they're really long, so that's just, we can just take pictures in the meantime. So you can see here, for example, this picture from the last week probably, but here you have this space for the chart that is not there at all. So there are some improvements, but the market was missing also a few things here. I have finished already. This card that I was doing also during streamings, but I put in some place I'm not really using it. I'm just keeping this one. I was doing all of them also on streamings. I was doing this small fishing platform during streamings also. I don't remember I was working here, but probably all those instances messes that I was just creating, replacing all of them, so you have the same one. And yeah, here for example you can see the forest without any flowers at this point. This watermill that is already working, things like that. I did also this one from streamings, modeling and all the texturing, doing the blueprint, because I have companies like the doors. So if you want to see a few more things like that, I have all the videos on YouTube. I didn't finish this house at the moment. I have all the videos on YouTube if you want to check any of them, or latest streamings that I was uploading. And yesterday I was uploading all of them for the flowers and also the charts that we have. So this, how is it going? Okay, 95 at the moment. Just trying to open this one. So I have this picture also probably. Yeah, this is the one I was using. Yes. Well, it's a new one that I'm taking because, for example, here I see that I'm missing the stones and things like that. Well, yeah, I'm working on it every single day at the moment. I have been working every single day for 10 months, 7 days a week. This is a huge task, adding a lot of things, doing but yeah, every single day you see that it's progressing. And also in the when I was starting was mainly modeling, and I was learning at the same time Unreal Engine, so to create something a bit cool or some animation, game mechanics, things like that, it takes really long. But after some time I'm just creating more and more and more things, so I have a lot of components already I can reuse, or most of the things are already connected. So it takes of course a lot of time to tweak and improve up all the system to be ready for that, but already it's working and you can see every day new things. Okay, see you later, have a nice day, thanks for coming, see you, bye bye. So yeah, it's, as you can see, it's taking maybe 10 minutes or a little bit more to open the editor. It's just going really slow here and really slow here again. The RAM, I don't know, probably there is some issue with some of the blueprints. I don't know which one, but maybe there is something on a blueprint that is taking really long to load, and also using too much RAM. I had in the past one problem with one blueprint. I was taking really a lot of RAM, so I will try to check what I was just changing maybe today, or what was the problem. So maybe today that I was changing something, so it's just the reason to be using too much RAM and taking so long. I will try to profile later, something like that. It's nice to see, for example, old ones. Checking, for example, the lining, completely different lining, and I was working more on the lining later. For example, here you can see that this one is empty. Here are missing things. You know how to charge. This roof is also not finished. Things like that. We are missing all the small stones here. Things like this. For example, we are missing the house here completely. So you can see how this one is growing. For example, no house here, and also a few things not finished. The lighting and the grass is not so nice as it is right now, and we are missing here fences, houses, things like this that are really missing, or the first installation of grass. You can see here, for example, the first picture that I was using with the trees, and you can see the forest is completely empty, and most of the things are completely empty. Also here. This is the one of the bridges without water, because at this time I don't have it in the river or grass here to put there. That's something really old. Things for the market I have a long time ago, almost 1 year ago. For example, this one of the farms that now is just completely different. Redo all those roof, adding a few props. For example, the grass is much better, and I will improving also the light, because it's just maybe not really nice here. And you can see, for example, all dialogue. This is something from the castle that I'm not working on it at the moment. It's just only focused on the town. But you can see also part of the castle. This is something also about props that I have. And the main thing is about lighting. This bit pink here that I don't like much. I'm just changing a few things like that. Working on a few buildings, things like that. But you compare with the last one that we have been working on it, you can see how the lighting have been changing, and everything seems to be more realistic. For example, here, as you can see, it's much more realistic. And for example, here the lighting, the grass is much better, have a lot of small details, things like this. Oops. Yeah, flowers. It's a completely different picture. So let's keep the picture here, and let's try to continue what we were doing. Let me see if this is recreating properly. Finally, there's an out mess. I can still not use Unreal Engine, is still loading something. I don't know what. Okay, and we have exactly the same problem. For some reason this is not going well here. So I'm gonna start thinking that maybe the problem is coming from this church blueprint. But there's something wrong here. Trying to recreate this snap mess is not working. I will move this bench. Anyway, it takes too much time, and that's definitely something that is broken on the level or game mode. I don't know. I can do some tests, like for example deleting this charts later, and then see what is happening, if this is loading faster or not, or remove some levels, stream levels, and see in which level is the problem that we have. So let's move, for example, this one a bit. Well, I see that I have lost again all the properties for all of them. As you can see, I have already both sides. So it seems to me that there is the same problem here. For example, these child actors are not being added. So there is the same problem in the game that I have in the past. This kind of lost this one trying to add them, but for some reason they fail. So since the problem is here with those benches, trying to add all those benches is just having something wrong. So that's why there is something wrong here with the benches. They are not being controlled by the church. So in that case, you see here, I don't have the properties for all of them, so I need to kind of well, delete them and then try to add again, like sit pp. And now I have again all the properties here. So right block. But for example, this one I will do the same, like none, and then I use this sit pp, and then I have the properties already, so I can modify a few things like that. And I will do with this one also. So there is some problem here. I need to find what exactly the problem is with all of them being assigned. But let's say with both of them, try to recreate this nav mess. Let me see. Ball navigation. What, as you can see, now it's working. So there is a problem with those benches here. For example, I can see no no properties, so that's exactly the same problem that we had. So again, those three, the last one. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know, I'm losing all of them. I need to reload again. I really don't know. They're just components for child actors and there's nothing. Need to be static and all of them are static. So now we have already properly done, and seems to be the problem is coming from this blueprint, so that's why it's using so much RAM and it's taking so long. So I will need to try to find the problem with this charge PP blueprint for some, I don't know, maybe the components or things like that. So now should be, of course, they can assign this one and also this one, so all of them. No, exactly. So that's working. That's working fine. Everything is working as expected. So they are using a few of them. If I try to close this one, there is nothing happening because it's just blocked. So probably I could also delete the action, so there's no action for them to be executed because all of them are being blocked. So this is door base, and I will add this for the get action already. This is false. I will have this one, otherwise I will have no action. Okay. Just waiting for that. Let me check again the charge PP if we are losing all those properties or not. At the moment they are here. So yeah, we can just check again for this. Okay, I pressed play already, but let's again. So it works, and they are being assigned any of them randomly. If I try to close this door, it's not possible because it's just keeping out this block. Maybe the next step is just trying to use one of them, so I will be just sitting down on one of them, and this one need to check if this bench is enabled or not, so it's just not assigning the same one that I'm just using. So let's say on the chart here, when just get free bench, need to be, let's say, get this one, and asking here about is enable get enable. So we can just check about the bench. If it's enabled, it means, for example, the player is using this one, so it's already sitting down there and it's not possible. So in case that this is oops, I think I was missing this. I will move here again, and let me copy this. Okay. So if this one is false, I mean true, means you can assign this one and then continue everything as it is. In case that this is not, it should be trying to have another index and then try again for this one. So kind of this. I'm not sure it is just make a loop of things. First I will try without any interaction, so should be just assigning as it was in the past and there is no changes on it. And after I will try to sit in one of them and see what is happening with this. So now it works. Yes, it works. So we do not need to wait more for that. And I will try to sit on this one, to this bench, and see what is happening with them. If I'm just come here and sit here for me. So this bench is being busy right now, and this one cannot be assigned to them. So yes. Okay, so one of the things that I would like to have is when you are sitting on a bench that is, let's say for example in this charge, the time is not passing, it's just waiting until the mess starts, and then in that case the mess starts. But should be, or even I could even control the player when the player is arriving to this charge. Hello Battleborn, oh I didn't see you for some time. I've been working for a few days, a couple of days on flowers. What I have here, let me show you some flowers here. So I was working a few flowers, different ones, different colors, things like that. I did also on streaming as usual, and after that I was working in the charge. I was taking like almost 3 or 4 days for all the modeling, painting, and things like that. I have also the bell is a blueprint, so it's just playing and stopping animation, things like that. And I was working today, the first day, on gameplay for the chart, in fact. So the thing that I'm doing now is a few NPCs are coming to the church and they are being assigned any random bench from this one, so they kind of being controlled by the chart that they arrive to this point, and then assign a few benches, and they are almost ready to start the mess. And after that also the player needs to join this one. It's not completely finished because I'm missing all the paintings. Also I'm missing here the windows that I didn't finish, and textures here also. I need to finish a few things, but I mean more or less it's already working. I have the tower that you can walk on the tower. Let me show you also about the light that I'm having. It's a bit different lighting here for the charge, for example. So I have already kind of this illumination for inside. So you have, and it's according to the time of the day. So in case that you are here and then it's just time is passing, you can see, or anytime you are coming. But this light needs to be a bit different from, or for example taken from this another time of the day. But the problem is having a stronger, this is 13 probably, the one that has stronger. Well, the thing is, according to the light, no, or sun, the time of the day, but the problem is I cannot use both illumination for inside and outside, because I need to have really strong fog to have this effect here. So if I go outside, I have so strong fog that I cannot use for both cases. So I have like changing the illumination from inside and outside, and when the player is going inside, you have the illumination for this one, but when you leave, it's changed again to the illumination that usually without paying this charge are not having so strong things like this. So I can just show you right now on game how it changed, but I'm missing at the time nice transition, so it's just kind of jumping between them. So if I go there and go inside, you can see that the light is just changing completely, so you can see it's just jumping. If I do that, so this is the lighting, this is fine, but as you can see, if I go outside, it's just jumping. Okay, so it's just changing. I need to adjust properly the place, and also kind of transition with timeline or some, I don't know, transition between the lerp with a few parameters. But the thing is, you have the lining inside for being proper lining during the mesh, while we are leaving, and then just coming again to the normal lining. And yeah, the transition is the only thing that I'm missing, just jumping. And also you can go to the church and to the tower. So you have a door here, probably closed during the game first, and then you can go to all the tower, and you have a few windows there in the tower that you can see from outside. This is the cross here, but you can see from the windows outside, and you arrive to the top of the tower, and you can see the town, and you can see also here the bell. I need to redo the bell because it's not really nice, but it is working. So I can already play here, let's say playing for outside, and we can already play this one for testing. Where's this for testing? Yeah, this one for testing. So it takes probably, let me do it like that, and I will add a new delay for like 5 seconds. 3 seconds, start with this loop, and that's just going to the end for 20 seconds, something like that. So this is just playing and stopping, playing, stopping all the time the bell, just for testing. But I can control, as you see, I can control this one from Blueprint, so I can just say at what time the bell is starting. So you have already the animation, and this is 3D sound. So if you go far, and you can see, well, if you are using headphones, you can see that is left, right, the sound, and also it's stopping after a few times, I hope. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it stops. Of course, after 5 seconds, start again playing. It's just for testing. But I mean, I can play at any time and how many times I want. So it will be starting again, I don't know, in 5 seconds or things like that. Yeah, it's starting again, so all the animation is working. And this is just a charge Blueprint, so here I can control kind of, yeah, play 10 times the bell. I mean, play 10 times the bell and then wait for 20 seconds and then play again. So it's just, I can play like 3 times when it's time at 12 or things like that. So what I'm trying to do is altogether gameplay for the charge. So the player is coming to the charge at, let's say, 12 or 8 in the morning, things like that. So the charge is starting playing the bell, opening the doors that I have already. So you can see here that, for example, it's starting or opening the door initially, and then all the NPCs are coming, and they have a few benches here, so they will be assigned to randomly any bench that you have here in the chart already, and they are just sitting here. After that, you could start the mess, passing like half an hour, 1 hour, things like that, and after that, people can leave again, and all the NPCs are leaving. So at this point, what I have is already the bell. I have the doors are being controlled, as you can see here, starting the game just for testing, but the doors are being opened. The NPCs are coming, the bell is playing, and all of them are coming, being assigned to benches that they can sit. This is random, so every time they are just arriving and then having any bench where to sit. Of course, missing the animation for random, and I can also join their sitting, you know. So I could be just sitting here and then ready for the mess, just passing, things like that. So yeah, it's what I'm trying to do. So the next step is control in some way when all of them are just being, let's say, ready, all of them. Then start the mess, and then when it's finishing, all of them are just leaving again, and finally the door is closed, things like that. So it's kind of sequence for this mechanic, because I'm really planning to have this mechanic. As you can see, the lights at night here. Of course, the benches are just using something for testing, but I will create something nicer for all of them, and paintings, and also will be a guy here with a few things. So this is few things I need to also complete, but the idea is that the players coming here at least one time a day. I need to be here and spend maybe 30 minutes every day or things like that. So a few things that you need to do during the day. And that's what I'm trying to do, control from the charts all those NPCs, the bird, the doors, and all the mess and things like that. So that's one kind of a big mechanic for that. So yeah, it's going well, working well, but there needs to be more work, not only about the model but also about the blueprint. So yeah, so you can see how it's going. That's just well, it's just work to do, but luckily I have a lot of things already, components that I can reuse, for example for all the NPCs having plants, moving or sitting on benches, things like that. So it's a lot of work, but just need to be controlled. Yeah, that's the thing. I hope it takes maybe a couple of days just finishing the charts and also finishing those kind of sequence that I need to have here. So yeah, that's one. Thank you. I'm just working a lot, trying to have something nice, but this is working. Yeah, try to do. Of course, this chart is missing on this demo because you don't have this one, but there are a lot of things to do, a lot of mechanics that I have in my head that I want to implement. So it takes time combining all of them, but well, it's just time. I enjoy what I'm doing, so it's fine. It's good. No worries about it. This is taking time. This is fine. Yeah. I think I will finish here the streaming because I was streaming already for longer as usual, and also I have those problems with the RAM that is probably coming from a problem which is some blueprint that is taking, I don't know, some reference for some reason, things like that, and it's just doing really laggy the streaming. And yeah, it's just better to leave. If I have some time, probably will be this afternoon streaming again. I have some things to show or just continue with this gameplay. That would be maybe nice to have all together probably today. So yeah, everybody coming here, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the streaming, and see you next time, probably this afternoon or maybe tomorrow as usual, because I'm streaming every single day. So thank you everyone for coming. Battlebond, thank you. Nice to see you again here. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye everyone. Bye bye.